Do you live in the US and want fast, fresh and tasty meals without the hassle of shopping or all that hard work preparation? Well, don't you worry, as a lazy man, I've got you covered. Try America's #1 meal kit service, HelloFresh, and get yourself fresh, pre-portioned ingredients delivered direct to your door. So why not eat well, stay healthy, and avoid the cost of regular takeout by trying HelloFresh? Just click the link in the description below for a special limited time discount and free shipping as well. Enjoy. Well, you've just got to love a busy festive period when you're a successful Northern Irish side, haven't you? Because today we play our second and third games in a 4-day spell. We're going to have to rotate the squad fully for my favourite competition, but we play Scottish opposition in that for the first time, and in a huge game given a table against Linfield. Hello and welcome back to part 75 of Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today with ridiculous fixture congestion, our second game in the SPFL Trust Trophy, in which I'm going to have to rotate fully. A little bit of early news on the winter transfer window front and a bit of confusion that's caused actually. And a huge game against Linfield. I could have shown Linfield and Larne, but I wanted to show our first game against a Scottish team. It's a good way for us to get a yardstick of how we're doing against the other sides in the UK. But realistically, the Linfield and Larne games are huge because Linfield, 7 games in hand. If they win them all, they go 1 point above us. Larne have 6 games in hand. If they win them all, they go 4 points above us. So we've got it a little bit closer than previous years. And at the moment, we are definitely the best of the rest. So if we get results against Linfield and Larne, it could be looking like a title race for us. Whether we can do that given the fixture congestion, I'm not quite sure. If you want to find out and you're looking forward to this one, then please do put a thumbs up on it. I hope you're looking forward to this because I think it's going to be blockbuster. As you can see from the top right of the screen, our busy week has started fairly well. We won on Saturday, we won on Tuesday, but now we're playing Thursday and Saturday again. And it's not the sort of games we really wanted in this busy spell. If we go and have a look at the schedule to see what's been happening since you were last here, you were with me for that topsy-turvy win against TNS and then a good result against Ballymena United. After that, though, we had a bit of a disappointing month. We beat Crusaders in the Shield, which is fine. There's the one competition we're still chasing domestically. We've not won that out of the Cups, and Joneson and Pardee set us on our way. But then, of course, we lost to Linfield, which is an important game in this title race. And then out of nowhere, we got battered 3-0 at home to second-tier Newry in the League Cup. So we won't be defending that crown this year. Not a bad striker for the second tier, if I may say so myself. Moving further down, though, we bounce back the only way we know how with Distillery. Lots of 1-0 wins. It's almost become 2-0 to the Distillery this month, though. First, a 1-0 win against Portadown, Jonathan McElhatton off the bench late on. A 3-1 win against Warren Point, 2 for Wilson and 1 for Colin McCann. A 1-0 win against Cliftonville, you guessed it, Jonathan McElhatton with a penalty. A win against Linfield, this time in a Shield, 94th minute for McElhatton off the bench. A 1-1 draw at home to Coleraine, a late penalty cancelled out Colin McCann's goal, who is definitely having a run as a super sub this year. We then had a 1-0 defeat to start December away from home. That was at Crusaders. And does anyone recognise the goal scorer? Ian Walker is a man we had on loan from Linfield many years ago. I think it was our first season we came up. Didn't play a huge amount. And of course, he put us to the sword. He got a bit of revenge in that one. But 3 successive 2-0 wins followed against Dungannon, both of them through Mark Wilson, against Glenarvan, 1 from Griffiths, 1 from McElhatton, and against Ballymena, 2 from Mark Wilson. Now, it looks like we've had a couple of sticky spells in there, which we have a bit, and we've definitely struggled for goals a lot more. But there's been a key reason for that. We've been without Morgan Griffiths a lot of the time with injury. We had Jaffet and Pardee out for a month as well. And those little attacking knocks definitely had an impact. So we're trying to keep people fit. We're trying to keep them well rested. But this run of games is ridiculous. We played 2 days ago. We play in 2 days. I've got to rotate for Partick. We were almost hindered in that process though, because you'll see on Tuesday night, the only change we made to our first 11 was Stephen Walker played left back. Now his loan was due to end on the 18th, which was yesterday. And he actually went back after that. The club rejected our first loan offer. He went back from his loan. I tried to get him again, and the offer was accepted, but I presumed he wouldn't come back till the 1st of January. They agreed it, and he agreed it, and then he just came back out of the blue, outside a transfer window. I don't know what the process is. Is it because he didn't miss a game? He definitely did leave the club. He wasn't here for a day, but thankfully he's come back for this one. So he will be involved as we go into this game. We are going for full rotation. I apologise to those of you that love this competition as much as me, but as I mentioned before, this is our first season in this competition. Winning it is not a priority. If we become a top 2 side in Northern Ireland, we'll play in it every year. We will win it in this save, mark my words. But what I am concerned about is for the first time, we've got a real chance of being in a title race. Could we give ourselves a real chance? We'll wait and see. And if we have a look at the other fixtures, Larne are playing in the Europa Conference tonight. And I have to mention it because if we go and have a look at how they've been getting on, and I'll do it just by going to the table, Larne are in 14th place. 14th place at the moment. A fantastic effort from them. 9 points from their 5 games. And you'd argue on paper, this is one of those games that might be winnable. I'm not sure. I don't think the Croatian League is loaded. It's not. But there's a lot of good players there. So we'll wait and see how they get on tonight. Linfield picked up a few points, but not enough to get anywhere near through in the Europa League. So let's go and get through the tactical meeting. They're telling us to go cautious. This Partick side will be professional. It will be strong. They're 7th in the championship. They've got some pretty good players there at the minute. And players on what, £2 a week there. Theo Corbinell, I recognise that name. He was at where? Aberdeen, Sheffield Wednesday, Wolves I recognise him from. Blackpool on loan. That's where he is. And he played for MK last year. So a good side Partick Thistle have got. Let's see who we can put out. I'm afraid it will be a full rotation and it will be our backup 11. A few first teamers on the bench as well as the likes of young Philip Baxter. I'm trying to ease him in and get him a few sub appearances this year. He's made 3 or 4 now in the cups, but got to get that determination sorted if he wants to make it. The rest of the team, it's heavily rotated. We've got Murphy in goal, rare appearance for him. Wood and Walker are in at fullback, surprisingly in the latter's case. McClelland and Cooper are centre half. We've almost ended up with a bit of rotation there, just due to when people are fit and injured and etc. Bagley and Burns the midfield too, Puarte and Scott the wingers, and then McCann behind McElhatton up front. McElhatton's actually nearly outscored the man Wilson up front this year. He's been really good, really consistent off the bench. And McCann, he's not anything really to look at in terms of technical ability, but he's making a difference off the bench. So let's hope today he can do that from the start. We go into it against Partick Thistle, a bit like the TNS game. I don't really know what to expect in terms of respective quality. So let's just go and see how it goes. Will our backup team be good enough, or is this going to be the end of the road? Let's go and find out. Into the first game we go. Well, here we go then, and potentially the only positive for us, albeit there's some good players coming in, is that Partick have made 7 changes themselves, so it might be 2 backup teams for this one. Let's tell the lads that we're doing well, encourage them into the first half. We don't want to worry about complacency, we shouldn't have it for this one. Again, a small crowd in for this competition, it's one of the slight downfalls, but it's worth it for the quality of the opposition. Partick Thistle visit Northern Ireland. Now how on earth will we get on? As early doors, they've got the ball with that man we talked about pre-match, Corbinell. Out to the left-hand side for Walker, though, and he clears long downfield. Did not expect to have him today. We were trying to rest Curtis Bell to do 2 games in 3 days. Doesn't matter for now, though. Lyle smashes the woodwork for Partick. It's a brilliant start from the visitors. They should have scored in truth, but it stays 0-0. We're just about in it, but Partick having all of the shots. We're dominating the ball, so I hope late on, with the extra changes, that will pay dividends. But how many of ours will run out of steam? And how many passes are we going to give away like that? It was Walker again caught in possession. Maybe not happy just being back at the club a few hours. Macari's ball in is cleared by McClelland. And it's knocked back down by Partick. They've got us camped in here. Burns blocks the cross though, and Cooper can get it away. Walker finds Lewis Scott. Big punt downfield. McElhatton will chase, but it's aimless. And here come Partick again. We can't get out of our half. Brought forward here. Plenty of time on the ball for Ferguson. In the centre circle, they're not in a rush to get it forward. They look good on the ball. They look confident. And of course, they've got that professional advantage physically. And here they come down the left with Lyle. Hit the post early. In he goes. McClelland sliding in. Cross finds Young anyway. And it's 1-0 through Bruce Young. One of the few, I think, who stayed in that team. And with 16 minutes gone, they thoroughly deserve it. But remember, we were 2 down against TNS. We might yet get something out of this. Though it isn't looking good as we return just before the half-an-hour mark. Ferguson on the ball again, into Corbenau, headed away to Macari. Shots blocked up towards the goalkeeper. Murphy does really well with that. Can he get it out quickly? The fullbacks are ready. He can go to Jim Wood there. Instead goes for the big kick over. McCann will chase. Can't win it, and now Lyle's on the attack. Back to Snodgrass, his centre-half. They're in no rush again. As soon as they get to this position, they're just picking us off. Though Ferguson loses it that time. McCann pressing high, does really well. Gets down the right, beats his man, and then takes a bit too long. Hard to criticise because he only had one pass, and Hatton was hiding behind the defender. But not quite got that quality of a Morgan Griffiths, for example. Young shoots from distance, it's wide at the post. With 27 gone, it remains 1-0 to Partick with their only shot on target. As Kinnear plays out to McDougall. I think this is our best chance, is nicking the ball high up, but they look so good in possession. And here they come down the left again. Take on the fullback. Puarte nicks it. Can he keep possession? He does. McCann picks it up. It's a heavy touch. Out to Puarte again, though. He'll take on his fullback. Or no, goes back to Bagley. He's got options inside, but it's back to McClellan, and we're forced to start again. Definitely no rush, but I'm glad we didn't just give it away there. We stay composed. Cooper gives it to Walker. Famous last words, I'm sure. Back to Burns on halfway. Big switch to Puarte. Doesn't quite come off. And now Partick can bring it away. They're playing dangerous at the back, though. McCann nicks it in the box. Got to score. Does score. Colin McCann does brilliantly there. Nicks it off Snodgrass in his own penalty area. And McCann, cool finish. Not the best technically, but mentally he's very good. He works hard, he's composed, and he's a good decision maker, as we've seen. As Wood throws it into Puarte. Is that the lift we need? In towards Walker at the back post. Real hallmark of our game this season. Getting those fullbacks up and attacking the back post as well. It's almost like having an extra attacker in there. One that's unaccounted for by markers as well. As McDougall switches to Lyle. Wood chasing out. Don't give away a penalty. Back to Ferguson. Burns gets it for Bagley. Clear to Scott. Touch is poor. Falls for Macari. Shots blocked up to Young. He's in one-on-one. Keeper goes the wrong way. It's 2-1 Partick. And as quickly as we've equalised here, we're back behind again. And unfortunately, it wasn't a good goal to concede. Well, into the second minute of 2 added on at the end of this first half, and every shot on target has gone in so far. Lyle tries to add to that, hits the woodwork, and the rebound's in through Lewis Macari. It looks like this game might be a bit too much. Hard to blame a backup team in truth, but still very frustrating. Just before half-time as well. We're going to give the lads a kick up the backside. What was that? Start playing football. We ain't got a good reaction. We'll give it 15 minutes before bringing the stars on. I do not want to risk anyone for the weekend. Well, we're coming up to the 60-minute mark. I was about to bring some stars on, but here come Partick again, and it might be all over. Stewart's in for 4. I'm not going to do it now. We'll bring on a couple of the youngsters. So Philip Baxter on at left back. He will replace Lewis Scott. Left wing, sorry, not left back. I'm also going to take off, I think, Puarte. We need him for the weekend. And then Pardy, still building his fitness back up. He'll go on the right. You can see Morgan Griffiths not quite back as well. I'll give him 15 minutes at the end. But for now, I don't want to risk the first teamers if we can avoid it. So with half an hour to go, it's game over here. Partick Thistle, the professional Scottish side, just too good. I'm afraid my favourite competition, we're going to be going out at the second attempt. Well, with 25 minutes to go, I'm just going to make changes at the back because you can see one centre-half struggling for fitness and one of them on a yellow. So Wood will go centre-half, Boobier will come on next to him, and at right back, we'll go for Walker, Bell switching to the left. I forgot his 3 subs again. I've forgotten yet again. So it'll just be the one change at centre-half this time. I will bring Bell on instead because he didn't play on Tuesday. I thought he was going to be needed here. He'll replace Cooper. We'll shift McClelland and Wood over 1. Walker will go to right back. And we'll just see it out. Let's hope we can make this respectable. Do not concede any more goals. As McCann, back to Burns. Into Baxter, the left winger. It'll be a good experience for him, this. Bagley through to McElhatton. That's a good touch. The finish is atrocious, though. 1-on-1, blazes over the bar. None of his usual composure. But really good football in the build-up to that. Lovely touch to twist the defender. Almost Dennis Bergkamp-esque. Didn't have the finish with it, though. And his match rating has drifted into the 5s. As with 5 to go, it is into stoppage time. And Partick Thistle, 4-1 up, comfortable. I'm very annoyed by the schedule because we weren't able to give this a real go. We had no games basically in November, and now we've got one every 2 days. But to be honest, this wasn't the important one today. We've got Linfield in 48 hours. They've had a big European game earlier in midweek, and we've now got to recover. Can we get our first 11 fit? And crucially, can we get a result? Back in a minute to find out. Well, lots of big news as we're back for the Linfield game. First of all, Larne have done this nation proud in Europe. They are through to the knockout round of the Europa Conference. 12 points, 4 wins, and a 95th minute winner against Rijeka in their final group game. For Linfield, not quite so good. They finished bottom of the Europa League group phase, but they've still done their bit by getting there, and the nation is progressing. Looking at the rest of things though, I've probably got to mention our youth intake preview because it's actually got a bit of promise this year. An excellent intake expected in terms of strikers and goalkeepers. Let's just hope we get one. That's all I'm going to ask for. I did also want to show you a pending transfer because we've got our first bit of crossover between the head coach and Distillery, I think. And it's not one I expected because our new under-18s manager, our old one was poached, is potentially Steve Thomason. Now, he's a man that's got a rich history on this channel. He was part of our Bangor City save, our last big builder nation in FM21. And he was also at Airbus UK in our first season of the head coach this year. So he is someone that I've had a mixed relationship with. So we'll wait and see how he does if he joins the club. But he's absolutely nothing special. We're still not getting those top level of staff in. But I'm expecting 11 changes to face Linfield. They've had a couple more extra days off. So let's see if that benefits them as 3,500 fans expected in again. Linfield's away following is big for us. The full 11 is fit and it looks like it's our first 11. The only difference is Pardy, Infamicable, Hatton. What it does mean is we've got actually a few subs fit as well, which I didn't expect to have. If we have a look on the bench today, I'll have to put Baxter in there. And I'll put Cooper in as well, I think, for Jim Wood. But it does mean we've got 2 defenders that are all right. 3 midfielders that are okay. Probably centre mid is a little bit trickier. We've got probably Burns is the fitter of the 2 for Murphy in goal. But then if you look at that bench, it's better than I expected it to be. And it's fitter than I expected too. So in Pawate, in Scott and in McCall-Hatton, we have got game changers. But this is our 11 for the big game against Linfield. Neil Kane in goal. Wilson and Bell the fullbacks with Jones and Kean as centre-half. Kean, of course, playing against the club that released him this summer as Daniels and Whitehall line up in central midfield. And Pardy and Varmer on the wings. And then Morgan Griffiths, man of the season so far. He's building back to fitness. He's looking so good. And he's behind Mark Wilson, who's just starting to find that goal-scoring touch. He's starting to do it consistently up front. Can we get the win today to put us right in this title race? There's only one way to go and find out. Let's go and head off to a home game that's going to feel like an away one. It's Distillery v Linfield, and this could yet decide the title. Well, these are the teams. 3 changes made for the visitors. They've got their big money summer signing in. Sean McAllister, who won that cup final last year. Cammy Palmer still going. Bingo, the left back, is quality. And McGuckin, the main man up front, on 6 or 7 grand a week. It's a proper good side, this. They've had the extra rest in the week. But they have got that manager, and we've talked about it in the comments a bit. The fact that he is considered to be one who parks the bus. Will he come out with no ambition here? Linfield often play on the attack against us, but this year it could be different. They've drawn a few more league games with lower scoring matches. I wonder if that's a casualty from it. And maybe it's going to be a problem for them in winning the league, because at the moment, Larne definitely looked the stronger, but there is no competition when it comes to away following. Linfield have filled half the ground out, and we thank them again for keeping us financially afloat. We want them to bring in as many fans as possible, keep paying for us to turn professional, then we can compete properly every year. It's an early Linfield corner, good save from Kane. Penalty, Mark Wilson is adjudged to have fouled his man, but where on earth did that come from? Penalty taken, McGuckin sends his man the wrong way, and it's 1-0 to Linfield. The brilliant Kane save doesn't matter, and it is heartbreak early on. No change to our usual service against Linfield. In the league, they just have the better of us. Larne not in action today, of course. They only played 2 days ago, so we've not got too much we can read into this. But it is a problem for us if Linfield get the opportunity to go, 4 points clear then in a title race too. We could be in a little spot of bother. It is Larne next up, of course. It doesn't get any easier. With 5 minutes to the break, Linfield in the ascendancy. And to be honest, we've not really laid a glove on them. So let's go and get through the dressing room Let's tell the lads they've been unlucky. We want to build the confidence. We want to get them on the right foot. And hopefully we can be a bit more aggressive. If we have to chase it late, we will. We've had 3/4 of the ball here as well. But this is probably where the new Linfield manager comes into his own. They're 1-0 up. They've got the best defence in the league. And they can just park the bus now. It's going to be a problem for us. So Curtis Bell looking to break it down. That might be a big favour. It's certainly not going to help with them parking the bus. It's only going to get deeper. But it is now 10 men that Linfield have. Daniels puts a free kick in. Good goalkeeping from Hassan. Oh, what might have been if we'd signed him that summer. But he chose Linfield. And so far, he's been proven right. It's a long kick forward. Wilson heads away. Got to be careful with him. The ref might try and even this up. As Ferrish has the big money signing down the left-hand side. Turns to inside out. Shoots from distance. That's the individual quality. We're going to have to make changes, aren't we? As Neil Kane plays out from the back to Bell. He carries the ball forward. Into Daniels. Plenty of time in possession. And he finds Whitehall. Up towards Wilson. It's not a good ball. But equally, it wasn't really a great run either. 2 bits of poor play and Linfield bring it away. We cannot let in a second here. When they've got 10 men and they're parking the bus. Ferrisage is in. Across to McGuckin. Oh my word. That is not good enough. We do not deserve anything out of a game when we're doing that. Let's go and make some changes. It will be Wilson off for McElhatton. He started it all, giving away the penalty. And Pardy off as he builds fitness for Puarte. We've got Morgan Griffiths looking anxious, but I don't want to do much with him, to be honest. Jones has had a poor game, so Cooper for him. And McClellan will come on at right back for Wilson. 4 changes made. We've got 25 minutes to go. But it's going to take a miracle, even to get a point out of this game. It's been a textbook Linfield display. They've deserved to win it, and they're still creating more. Who's the side with 10 men again? Because at the moment, it looks like us. We're playing more positively now, as Puarte gets it out to McElhatton. Good play from him to drop deep, but he's offside. You absolute clown. You cannot be offside there. It's pure laziness. We've got a corner with Daniels, though, to the back post. Kean's up against his former club. Varma back in the mixer. Spencer clears it away. They well and truly are parking the bus. Oh, Morgan Griffiths, almost with a moment of magic. Not quite. It's just gone wide of the post. And with 15 to go, it stays 2-0. We will make the final change because Daniels is knackered. We've got a big game against Larne in 5 days. We're just going to count our losses. Burns will be on for him. We're still not quite there. And if you look at the expected goals, we can't argue. Linfield are without doubt still the better side. And we're not quite at title level yet, which 9 years in is a bit of a worry. Whitehall hits the bar. Out for a goal kick. The stands are emptying. I don't think that's the case. 4 minutes of stoppage time played. It's a comprehensive defeat. This ain't going to get any easier, is it? Let's go and have a look at the schedule. See when we're going to be back. Well, at least we've got one easy thing we can do in this episode. And that's decide when we're going to be back. Because our penultimate game of January is the Antrim Shield final. The one domestic cup that we have not won yet. We've won the League Cup. We've won the Irish Cup. But we've fallen short on penalties in this one before. We go away to Glentoran, a winnable game, albeit they're having a much better season this year. And then we've got Coleraine, a side we struggle with at times away from home in the league. So they're going to be 2 massive games. They're going to be crucial to our success in all competitions this year. We'll of course know better after this busy festive period whether we've actually got a chance in the title race. But Linfield still picking up points against us. And at the moment we're struggling to keep pace. So with their games in hand, they might well be in the ascendancy. But if you did enjoy this one, 2 pretty heavy defeats. We don't often get to say that in these episodes now. And please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the performances. Do you think we've still got a chance at the title? Or is it going to be a little bit too much? We'll wait and see as the season progresses. If you want to stay up to date and find out, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Back with the head coach tomorrow, a massive episode to come in that one. Do not miss it. It is a big summer and there's going to be an awful lot of talking points in that episode. But thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. I'll see you back here next time for a big cup final, a chance at a trophy and a massive game in the title race.